But yeah, welcome for real this time to the presentation. So yeah, our schedule got thrown out of whack because vicious bars, people couldn't show up.
No, it wasn't my fault.
Not your fault. But yeah, now we're here. We've got our presentations. So we're going to go through this slideshow, and then if anyone else has something that they want to share at the end of this slideshow, they can do that then. And then we'll move on to the much anticipated Jeopardy game. And then maybe after that, if we're like still doing stuff, then we can do like bingo or whatever.
We can discuss the NASCAR race.
Yes, I don't think totally. So. All right. So the first section of the show, I'd like to take a moment to like look at all of the Dark Moon speedrunners, like literally everyone who has ever ran this game. It's a lot. Like I looked into it and I didn't expect to get like as many names as I did, but here we see nearly 200 names, actually over 200. And this is probably not a full list, but like...
Did you change the slide?
Still on the first slide.
It's still on the first.
That is unfortunate.
Slide.
Yeah.
Look at this huge list of runners.
Look at this huge list.
Blars pulled up a YouTube watch.
No, that was Rex did that, and Rex just hasn't left it.
Oh, is Blars just still on it?
Whoa!
There we go.
There's the list.
Oh my god, I see me.
Yeah, lots of names here. Thanks for letting me know that it was messed up.
Rex displays her games.
Where's this?
At the top right.
Now the screen's black.
It's black.
On my end.
Yeah, it's black.
There we go. Now it's back.
Interesting.
Want to see me?
Somebody mute Javen, just server mute him. Someone server mute Javen, please.
Or you could just kick him.
No.
If you want me to try sharing it, I can.
How do I turn off my voice?
Okay, wait.
Okay, he muted himself.
Are these people who also ran ILs?
This is anyone who has a run submitted. So like any sort of website or anything like that. So this includes Cyberstore, Speedrunning.com, Video Games Records.
Oh my god, it's Golden Yoshi Star 1.
What's the and many more? Like, where's...
Where are they?
Like, I'm sure this is not a comprehensive list. Like, there's many more people who haven't submitted their runs. Many people who have, like never set foot into any sort of community and just, like, did a run.
Okay, so everyone that you could find is on here.
Right. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people I couldn't find.
Okay.
Wait, Balu ran this game? I mean, wait, I'm gonna look that up on SRT.
Don't think it's on SRC. I think it's on Cyberscore.
Okay. All right. If you want to continue, yeah.
Actually, no. It might have been on SRC.
I think it's really cool just to see like all the familiar names that, you know, people who aren't running it now, all the new names, people who are picking it up recently. All good stuff. But among all of these names, there is one that I'd like to point out. They're a bit of a special mention. They're actually not on this slide because they deserve a slide all to themselves. The one, the only, JTL had a world record in this game. Can you believe he beat it in 1 hour?
He's just light years ahead of us.
Absolutely incredible. What a legend. Will never
He's
be
It's
forgotten.
a world record.
Oh, with his own eyes.
Black again.
It's black. Really? Does it keep doing that?
So J-Town's a legend because he had to count while playing in order to get the time.
Yeah.
I bet like every second that passed, he put like a tick mark down in his booklet of world record, and then he counted them. Yeah.
Okay, next section.
Javen, you unmuted?
Yeah,
Please remute.
I'm not gonna be annoying this time.
Just mute him. I have him muted.
I have them muted too.
All right, live events.
We've got our live events. So, going way back to the first event that we ever did, Bingothon 2019.
Javen.
I'm pretty sure this was our first event.
I think so.
Don't think we had one before this. But yeah, it was kind of a big deal because like Darkmoon had never been shown at anything before. This was, Bingothon is of course a virtual event, and Darkmoon has yet to be shown at any in-person event to my knowledge. But still a really big deal. Yeah, I remember we were super excited to like actually be able to like do this for the first time. And yeah, we went for our first event with double bingo. I remember we did the 5-minute like prep during the event as well for this one, which was kind of weird. People didn't quite understand what was going on when we did like the 5-minute prep with the double bingo. They're like, why didn't the runners start? But yeah, then we got better for the later events. So yeah, we returned again that year in 2019 for the winter version. And instead of double bingo, we were now doing lockout bingo, which I think works much better for a like 1v1 live setting. So yeah, this was a very exciting match. I still remember this one. This one was really, really exciting to watch back. My commentary honestly was a bit scuffed looking back, but weren't we all?
I was not.
We're all scuffed.
Blars was perfect.
Blars was just
wasn't
not.
alive.
I was perfect out of the womb.
You were great.
Yeah. Dude, the Bingothon I commentated, I was so fucking pissed because whenever I tried to say something, Flair cut me off. So that motherfucker couldn't shut up, and
What a thing to be petty.
I rage messaged Splazer in the middle of this, like, Flair, I keep getting cut off by Flair, and he's like, damn, that sucks, you should just cut him off. And then I
get to it.
went on like
Yeah.
a 2-minute rant by myself. It was the best.
I remember that.
We'll get to that one. I'm sure it's on a slide.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like this one went overestimate a little bit.
So
Kind of
the
interesting.
last one.
Very long time for a lockout. Must have been a lot of snipes going on in this one.
Well, that's because Banana and Rex were playing, so yeah.
It's so funny, dude. It's
Shit.
just so funny.
Literally screaming.
Okay, Bingothon Summer. Another. Wait, no, that's not lockout. No, it is lockout. Lockout bingo between me and Rex. This is one of the biggest victories that we've had in any of the Bingothons.
Because Rex.
Yeah, Rex just like absolutely demolished me. I forget exactly what happened, but there must have been a lot of snipes going on in this one.
I think it's what you said. Like I just took a lot of your spaces before.
Yeah.
And then also like look the timer in the bottom right, like 56. We finished in under an hour, and we bumped our estimate because we went over the past 2 times.
Right.
So we still had half an hour to fill, and I think we just showed glitches and stuff for the remaining half hour.
Did Rex
Yeah,
went
we
to
must
China.
have.
Nice.
Okay. Winter 2020. We have Flair versus Jake.
Fuck that guy.
We have Flair on the webcam. Very cool to see. We've had a lot of webcam streams actually for Bingo-thon, which I think is
Classic.
pretty awesome. But yeah, when we went back to Double Bingo, I'm pretty sure we did the prep before the bingo board, or like before we were supposed to go live for this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like we learned from the first Double Bingo that like we should do the prep beforehand so people aren't just there waiting.
I think we had everything like already predetermined. Like they got to see the board and like pick
Right.
everything before. I guess it's basically what you said.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we probably handpicked this seed.
I think we did, yeah.
I remember we handpicked this and we all like
Yeah.
made sure that it wasn't
We
bad.
handpicked every seed we did from this point on.
Probably.
Yeah. So that one was pretty comfortably underestimate as well.
I forget who won this one.
Says you
We
won.
did. By a lot.
There's a 1 next to your
Almost
name.
Says I
20
won?
minutes.
Oh shit. Okay.
About 20 minutes, yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Then next event, Lockout, me versus Vicious. This is only the first of many. There's a couple more.
Won this one.
This was a very exciting match. I really enjoyed this one. This one might be my favorite.
It's his favorite because I won.
I did win, but barely. Like it was really close.
So this is
Vicious is from Argentina.
yep.
It does say Argentina.
Oh, I am from Argentina.
What?
This is the one where Flair kept interrupting Blars.
You did
And
this
also
Oh yeah.
we mentioned the 7 gems, 12 gems that happened here. Reed took 7 gems and then he spent so long away from it that Vicious went for 12 gems and got it.
Right, the 12 gems haunted and the 7 gems haunted there.
That was annoying. You are annoying.
Yeah. But yeah, the last space was all poltergeist varieties. And yeah, I think I'm not sure if the ancient poltergeist was your last one.
Was.
Shoot,
Pretty sure
that's
it was.
insane.
I think I remember. I'm pretty sure Ancient was my last one.
That was actually coming down to like to the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, really exhilarating match. Okay, the next one that we did, this one honestly might be one of our roughest events. The Bingo-thon Ukraine Emergency Relief. We were planning to do like a big co-op blackout, where you get every single space on the board. And we had 4 runners prepared to do that. But 2 of them didn't show up, or not didn't show up. One of them didn't show
It's
up,
broke.
and then
That's my bad.
another person had trouble with their
Love
capture
it.
card, which is really sad. But yeah, so Flair and I did our
Yeah, sorry.
best, and we honestly got like a pretty good amount of the board, all things considered, for 50 minutes. The spaces that are marked there are actually the ones that are remaining. We did it in a weird way where we marked all the spaces that we wanted to go for personally, and then we removed the mark as we got those spaces. So those are actually the spaces that we still have yet to get that are still marked there.
That looks a lot better than you
Yeah.
getting 4 spaces in
Right.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to do a cooperative event like that. But yeah, I'm not sure if we'll ever do something like that again in Bingo-thon. I think the lockout format is just so much more fun to watch.
The competitive aspect, yeah.
Yeah, I was never really fond of that idea when we first brought it up.
I mean, the reason we wanted to do it was because the whole like vibe of the event, was just like coming together and supporting Ukraine in this like really like sudden and quick like I don't know initiative to support them.
But I don't like you guys.
Okay, Lars. But yeah, we were just like
This is probably like March or
it fits the vibe better, like to be cooperative than competitive for that event.
But I think it makes for like a less entertaining event.
Oh my god.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. All right, next slide.
Dude. Like, what is wrong with you? Your brain is like mush inside your head. It's like you put a blender through here into your head and just put it on a high power for like 10 minutes, which is so long that it cooked too. It was so long and hard. It started cooking your brain too. Okay, we can continue now.
All right. Another lockout bingo. Me versus Vicious again.
This one I won.
No, this one I won. You see, look, my number is 13, and you only have 10. But anyways, again, just lockout is fun. Lockout is good. But this wasn't the end. Olympics was right around the corner. So this was our community-driven like marathon event last summer. Pretty cool. All 5 games? Yeah, all 5 games in the series. LM, LM2, LM3, the 3DS remake, and LM Arcade. We had events or like runs from all 5 of those games for the Olympics. Had 3 runs for Dark Moon. Blars getting a world record in any percent. Really exciting. Then Vicious and I have a rematch, and this one Vicious wins.
Like the rest of them.
Like the rest of them. But yeah, we don't have the fancy space counters for each person, but Vicious does have 13 there, I believe. Yeah.
That was the crazy one where, like, I was 1 off for like 20 minutes and you kept stealing the last one I was trying to go for.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. It was like literally like every single space at the end was like
I was at 12 and then we did the exact same thing for like 20 minutes and you kept getting it like
It was like, wasn't it like 12 to 9 or something?
yeah, and I made this huge comeback.
The fact that Ree was even able to get as close as he did is unbelievable.
It was 12 to 9 and then it ended at 13 to 12, which is insane.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that match. Like the mind games in that one was.
That was when Banana was going on a rant about like how smart I am, because he's like, Vicious knows that Ree thinks that he knows that Ree knows that he's gonna go for Secret Minds.
Look, Vicious, all I'm saying is that it made sense in my head, so.
And then lastly on day 2 of that event, I did an all gems quit to bunker run. Got a sub-hour time in that. Also got a couple PBs while I was derusting for that run, so pretty cool. But yeah, on to the next event. Oh, did you have something to add, Rex?
We were about Blars is any percent. I was wondering if he had anything to say, but he's server muted. So.
Hey, server.
Oh shoot! Who did that?
You guys are the funniest people ever.
Banana.
It's only 2 options.
I can't do that. I can't server mute it. I can't server mute people anymore.
Who was it?
It's probably
Just...
Who was it?
It was definitely Ree.
Ree, I will say you missed something.
I didn't like his little Ukraine idea. That's all it was.
Yeah, come on, Ree.
Come on, you need to be better.
I don't think that the GDQ hotfix isn't in here, is it?
Later.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it's. I didn't put it in chronological, unfortunately.
Oh, it's just in later.
Yeah, I forgot to put it in the right spot.
It's because your hotfix run was so good that we had to save it for last.
Right.
Okay.
I thought the any percent run was fun. It was just like a silly little run, you know.
Silly little world record run.
Just silly
little goofy.
Just a silly little run.
fun and quirky and bizarre.
All right. Next one.
Okay, next one. The
He
relay.
says he gets fucking world record.
This one was crazy. This was
Yes. Even though we only had 2 teams, honestly, that was quite an accomplishment to get 2 teams at all for this event. Really cool idea and concept. Having 2 teams, 8 runners total. Kind of hard to execute. It was difficult to get like enough runners, especially for like Dark Moon, LM3, and LM3DS. Not as many runners available for those, but we did it and we pulled it off. So yeah, Rex popped off this run. Like, what was that? Like 8 seconds off PB?
it was something like that. I went from like a minute behind to ahead, and then lost it in E-Bus. Boo.
Yeah.
About the teams, not to toot my own horn, but I think it was the only member of Team B who was faster than the Team A member. So, you guys can clap for me now.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
pulled your own weight. For sure.
That run made me feel really good, because like I looked back at that, and I don't know if it was that run or another, but one where I was like 2 minutes behind, like leaving Gloomy. It might have been like 28 something, just like a low 28. But I like lost only less than a minute throughout the rest of the format, so it gave me a very clear idea of what exactly is my weakness and what I really need to work on, which is Gloomy.
I was nervous after Gloomy. I was like, oh god.
I watched back your commentary. That was awesome.
Was I the only one on commentary? I think.
Someone might have come in later, but
I think I was supposed to be there, but I slept through that one, right? I think that was a...
That was
He does that.
brutal.
Yeah, I
Brutal.
think
runs at once.
I was working at the time.
Did we like
Anna, you did a
four
great job.
events?
Thanks.
yeah, I'm curious. What do you guys think of the relay race, and would you like to see another event like this happen?
Yeah.
I'd be
I
down
love
for another one.
commentating, so if you need a commentator, or if you need someone really bad to even out another team.
Right.
Have 4 teams.
Yeah, I didn't really get to participate in them because I was busy, but yeah, I'd love to join one.
Yeah. 4 teams would be like amazing. That'd be like ideal, because like 2 teams, it's like, oh well, one team's gonna win, and like the other team might be in the like behind them the whole time. 4 teams, there's a lot more chances for placement changes.
Hardest part, I'd say, would be the same as the first one, which would be LM3, getting winners for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they only did Scarescraper.
They did.
That's because Twisted is like so far ahead of everyone else in every other category in any percent.
I still think we need to scrape up 10 runners and do a Dark Moon relay. 1 runner per mansion, 2 teams.
But we need to get 29 runners, and then we need to get 1 runner per level.
Amazing. All right.
Maybe.
We need 58.
So
But
next event,
idea. That's good.
we have the GDQ hotfix.
There it is.
This was done in July of 2020. I forgot to move this back into chronological order with the others, but that's all right. I personally don't know too much about this event. I didn't watch it, but yeah, do you guys have anything you want to say about this one?
The one time.
I liked it. I think it was a good run.
The one time GQ actually acknowledged us.
I mean, get it again.
They don't like runs that are multiple hours.
We also haven't submitted just that many in general. Yeah, this was Banana Any Percent, and it was commented by him and me.
Me.
Nope.
Okay.
Did you soft lock or something? I feel like there was something that happened in Treacherous where there's a lot of time lost. Maybe you missed like Dark Age skip or something. I remember there being something weird that happened.
Well, I
towards the end
didn't
of
get
it.
like any skips. I didn't get either EGAD storage,
Hmm.
which was a bummer.
I remember that. Yeah, besides that, it was pretty much just a normal run. Yeah, the relay already happened.
Awesome.
That was a while ago. But yeah, just pretty normal
Really
run.
today.
Yeah, maybe one day we can go to the in-person GDQ event for real.
That'd be hype.
How
Let's do
sick
it.
would that be? Which I guess leads into my next
Tomorrow.
slide.
Let's do it. Vicious says.
Let's
like,
do it.
We're going like 100%
Right now.
guaranteed.
What kind of events are your favorite? What do you think is exciting or the best like format that we've done for Dark Moon?
I like the bingo where I won.
That one was pretty good. Yeah.
Just keeps going, dude.
It's just like snow bingos. Okay. Lockout was best. The best format. Relay, I think that's good. I think a relay Dark Moon thing, like just this game, that could also be feasible for us.
I think it'd be really good.
We did
Those-
that actually. Remember the 9th anniversary? We did a relay.
Wasn't
that's
streamed
right.
or anything, but we just did it for fun. Right?
I remember
Yeah.
the relay, but I think we need to do it again.
Yeah, maybe actually get 10 runners.
I don't know. We have Javen. Just needs to learn the.
Right, get
Missions.
Gloomy or something. Or...
David does A2.
All right. Anyone else?
No.
I think my favorite.
Thing you can find runners for, because honestly, I don't really want to be a runner. I love
I think the-
commentating.
I think the best Bing format is Clash of Clans format. Do you remember one? Reed?
Right.
Fuck that
I never
one.
got to do that one.
Dude, we got to do that Clash of Clans format again. That was huge.
Never played Clash of Clans. Bingo.
I don't know what this is.
Overall, I
It
think
was something that me, Reed, Blars, and Banana, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I did not.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Dude,
Did you not do that one?
No.
My first square was
Oh,
like
it was Max Attacks, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So we all
Max.
it's a bingo board, and we all picked a corner.
Before revealing.
Yeah, before we
Oh,
revealed the
okay.
board. And yeah, you can only get spaces adjacent to ones that you've claimed. So you kind of like start from the corner and you grow your territory.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like
Lars
if the
did get
board
absolutely
was-
screwed by his spaces.
If the board was bigger, maybe like
If the board
it's-
was bigger, it'd be better.
if it was
Alright,
like
Jake-
Yeah.
if the board is like 6x6 and you start at like the bottom, or maybe 5x5 would work if each team starts like the top and bottom, and you can pick any of the bottom 5 or any of the top 5 to start with. That way you don't get screwed into like just getting unlucky.
All right, Jake wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think we all can just agree bingo is probably the most exciting and the most intriguing, if you will, because it works perfectly with Dark Moon, and I mean the bingo thon arrangers really do enjoy our company, and they enjoy having us there. So yeah, I'd say that's the most exciting one out of all of them.
Yeah, I like bingo a lot.
And
It's a 3-player blockout.
and I'm just
We've never done
saying.
that before.
And I'm just saying it from the most experience because I didn't really get to experience the Boo Olympics or the relay race just because it just so happened to be at the most inconvenient times. But hopefully I'll get to join that in the near future if we ever do one again.
FS.
Definitely. Yeah, I think those events were pretty exciting, and there's already been a little bit of talk for the Olympics again this year. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, I agree. Bingo, especially lockout, is like top tier.
Top tier in Clash of Clans.
All right, the next section, we've got significant world records. So over the years, there's been hundreds of world records, but some of them stand out to me a little bit more than the others. Some of them stand out to you guys. So I want to take this next slide to like just take a look at a couple and discuss.
Holy shit!
What sort of records do you guys remember? What stand out most to you?
Well, when I joined, the most relevant record was Ree's 3:08 any percent time, which that was like, oh, this time's so good. How is he so good at this game?
The record stood for so long too.
I think the one for me, not to toot my own horn, but it was my 230 NG plus.
That time is so good.
I did list that one when we were discussing this. I don't know if it made it.
Oh, this is the only slide.
It's a discussion. Like, there's no, I don't think there's a make it. But yes, that is a good one.
Our zero record wasn't significant.
Mine.
Jake's B boss is there on the bottom left. That one definitely.
Wait, my B boss is on the bottom left.
Because that was like the second biggest cut, right? Besides
third.
Biggest time, right?
No.
Oh no.
Out of that being there, I was genuinely expecting to like see like 333 or 332 King Boo on there, like just because that was like the first world record I ever achieved in this game.
No, I agree. Actually, I do remember when you got that. That was really
I
nice.
do remember that.
Oh my god! I just got a world record. There's like no fucking way. I just got a world record. It was
Yeah, we
just
should
like
have included my A boss chain.
Chain.
like
Yeah, I got like a 214, 213, 212, 210, 209. A boss in like December 2018.
Let's all discussion what's significant to us. So if that's significant to you, then that's included in this.
Well, it's significant to everybody.
Right.
I don't care.
I like that you included C-Boss, E-Boss at the bottom, the 5-way tie.
Yes.
Yes. Legendary 5-way.
Which is absolutely amazing that we have, 5 runners capable of, such a good time.
What's the 8-2 at the top? Is that 209? 4-way tie?
That's also E-Boss. That is
E-Boss.
the 120, 122 4-way tie. That was,
Gotcha.
I remember that one so distinctly. All 4 of those times were achieved within 24 hours of each other, which
I do
is
remember that, yeah.
absolutely insane. Like,
That was.
Claire was nuts.
I can't
That's when I
stress
found the carpet strat, right?
like how exciting that day was.
Yeah.
That was February 20th of 2019. Like,
Bro,
probably 12
Yeah.
world records were achieved like in such a short amount of time.
that has to be like a record for this game's history. Is like that many world records being achieved within such a short time span.
Yeah, it was like
On the same mission, definitely.
same mission. You got your King Boo world record also around the same time, Jake.
Really? I didn't know that. It's good to know.
But yeah, I think it was also within the 24 hours.
That I
Cool.
think really
Oh,
cool.
24 hours. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
I know that-
so jam-packed.
I know there were some chains of multiple world records achieved by the same person on different missions. I know I had one for B2, B4, B Boss back in early 2020. I think Blars also might have had one. I don't remember what his missions were though.
I think it was just like kind of spread out, but it was like very consistent for like a few weeks or a month.
But like getting multiple world records in different missions.
I don't know, but I don't think that was like that special.
I'm
I've
actually
done that done that a couple times at least, where I've taken
Reed
3 world
literally
records in
like
like the span
did
of
this.
1
I
or 2
saw it
days.
in the stats sheet. He like added a whole thing for this exact thing.
Yeah, I'm really glad you guys brought this up. There's a section later in this slideshow, not a section, but a slide later in this slideshow that will actually talk about those back-to-back record things that you're talking about.
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Record,
One more record I want to note
can't.
on this slide, though, that I think is like awesome. Jackman's 141 in Rush
Yes.
has stood
Dude.
the absolute test of time. Like such an amazing record.
Shouldn't
Is it-
have.
it shouldn't
Banana
have.
wouldn't have DC'd in our fucking game.
Oh no.
Okay, wait. Is this 5 floor rush?
5-floor rush normal.
And is it still the
It-
world record?
It still stands. To this
I
day.
think we don't know who this guy is, but I think he well deserves to have that record
It's
a
Jackman.
long time.
I played with him. Me and Jackman played Scarescraper a lot.
I remember him being in the Discord. I remember
In
having
the Discord for a bit.
a specific Pokemon as a icon. Let me look it up. What is?
I remember Banana and I were on pace for beating this record with 2 players, and then he DC'd on floor 4.
Yeah, I left on purpose because I hate Vicious. I hate him so much.
Alicent. That was the name.
I was like,
so
wait,
upset.
I was like, wait, if we get this record, then he'll have it too. Ugh, and then I threw up onto my DS and it like short circuited, and I was like, oh shit. I disconnected.
Shit.
Can't let him have that record too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright.
For me, looking at this slide, it brings back this crazy memory that, like, really my entire first year of being in this community, first whole year of being in this community, was dedicated to only Gloomy Manor runs. I almost forgot about that.
Shoot, you're right.
Only record I cared about was Banana's Gloomy record.
Wait. Hold on, wait. Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, the first
is it?
sub 26-minute Gloomy run. That was big.
Okay, so I know the majority of us, like some people in here weren't here at the time, but where's the chat? I can't find the chat. There it is. Ree made this really funny meme of Gloomy world record with Vicious. I think it will appear.
My
It's Shrek.
God.
There it is.
Yeah, I think we
The
Such a
Shrek.
classic.
Oh, yes.
Oh, now what does he want?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, fuck you.
Having a
Dude,
good
this
time,
RNG
are ya?
sucks.
Not really a fan of the
I love
46
Duloc,
web
first of all,
situation,
pretty
but
What are you doing here?
Really, it's rude enough being alive when no one wants you, but showing up uninvited to a...
That
I
is
am
such
Jack.
a classic.
Such a good one.
I love it.
Probably my favorite meme I've ever made.
46 freaking webs, not even that much.
Let's keep it on.
Next section, we have
6 webs.
major discoveries. This will not be a comprehensive list, of course. There's a lot of other really big stuff that has been found.
Someone mute Vicious. Just Ree, can you just like server mute Vicious?
What? I can server unmute myself.
That's
I know.
true.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, let's get started with going back. This is going to be in chronological order. The first one that I can source. The Ancient Poltergeist 2 cycle was found by Berkut way back in 2013.
Yo.
So yeah, I remember I was running this mission, or not like running, but like looking on Miiverse, and I see these times from, actually it was Jackman who I saw first. Jackman had a time on C3, and I was reading the comments, and Berkut was talking about how you can like skip the second phase, and he was talking about like, oh, have you broken the 4-minute wall on C3 yet? How like it's really hard to do if you don't do the 2 cycle. And yeah, that's where I actually learned it from, was from Berkut and Jackman on Miiverse, which I think was really cool. The next discovery after that is Rumpus Room Skip. This one, I remember when I found this, it was complete accident. I was just hanging out by the door, and I guess like after I was done with like the second wave of ghosts, I forgot that there was a third wave, and like tried to go through the door, and it just worked. So, kind of an interesting skip. Would have been found by anyone, but
Is that
eventually.
screenshot Is that the screenshot from like the actual run where you went, oh shit, I just found something?
No. That's actually gonna be the next slide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have my footage of like finding Rumpus Room Skip. But yeah. Greenhouse Skip, that's the one that you're probably thinking of. This one, the clip of me finding it is actually on YouTube. So I was so confused when I first found Greenhouse Skip. I was questioning if I was even in B1. I'm like, am I in the wrong mission? Like, it surprised me that much. I still remember that feeling of like absolute shock and confusion. Such a very interesting feeling to find a skip like by mistake. One interesting thing about this skip is that the flinch animations were something that I picked up from Bonesaw. So Bonesaw's run doesn't have a video on the leaderboard now, but it used to. Like, way back when I picked up this game for the first time, I found Bonesaw's video of like his 3:53.19. And that is where I saw him doing like a bunch of strats, and that animation skip was one of them. But yeah, he just never made it to the door, I guess.
Well, it's not about making it to the door, it's about making it past the third
Or right, yeah. I guess
thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't think to like not try to skip the third animation if you didn't know it was already or possible to run past it.
Yeah, for context, Bonesaw, he ran LM1, but he's kind of a big speedrunner if you think about it. Like, he used to be a big speedrunner before. Like, he speedrun LM1, and then he started LM2, surprisingly, but we get to find the footage for his first % run, right? Because he was the first one out of everyone.
Has some legendary pop-offs in LM1. I don't know if he was the first for Dark Moon, but his time, his 3:53.19, was essentially world record when I started running the game because I couldn't find anything else on the internet.
Yeah, and he was mod back then, right?
Not Bonesaw.
Well, like speedrun.com existed.
Speedrun.com didn't exist until the very end of 2014. Actually, no. Speedrun.com existed since like March of 2014 or something like that. But Dark Moon wasn't added until December of 2014.
Gotcha.
Yeah. On to the next skip that was discovered. We have Conservatory Skip, found by the one and only Banana.
I forgot about the post.
The post
May
as well.
21st, 2017.
Like, boom, Banana's on the scene now. He's coming in hot with new strats. Like,
this is a week. I played the game for a week straight. Like, I learned it for a week straight. That's why it goes all the way to B2 to E2, because I'd already learned the entire game.
yeah, what like crazy? What an entrance! Like immediately with a skip and some new strats. And it didn't take you long to like get good and like start contesting my world records either.
When I was learning any percent, because what I would do is I'd play it along with you, your 3-way. I would go each level, and I'd play it. And at first I was like, oh, these times are so good. He's a god. He's a god. He's a god gamer. How could he have times these good? And then and then I was learning. I was like, wow, I'm actually like, I'm a few seconds faster in game time than him on some of these. And then but my first run was still a 3:19, so I was still pretty far off.
But yeah, then you got like the record like in June or July or something of that summer. Like it didn't take you long, or it might have been August. But you definitely did get one. Like,
I got low percent in like July or June or something. That was awesome. That was hilarious.
but yeah,
5:20.
I remember.
5 hours, 20 minutes exactly. Ree didn't even know you could drop coins. I did it specifically because I knew that, and he didn't.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I remember this skip was one that I thought was possible for like a long time, and I tried to get this skip so many times. But then Banana's like, "Oh, just walk," and yeah, that was the trick to
The
it.
lights have to turn on.
Yeah.
The most important part.
All right. The next big discovery is actually EGAD storage, found by Flare. Absolutely amazing discovery. Led to so many big like changes. Sparked excitement to like try to look for stuff. So big, I made my EGAD storage video on it. And yeah, has split a couple categories, which don't see as much activity as I'd like, but they're still really cool.
A reminder, why did he find this? Because I found the animation skip in Laugh.
That's true.
God.
And he just like got it. I honestly, it was not that easy back then, and I just said what it was, and then he just like did it on like his second attempt, and then he got EGAD storage because of it. So yeah, he was a gamer.
He is a gamer.
Then the next
Was a gamer.
discovery,
Flare.
also in 2018, maintenance skip was discovered in July of that year.
Fuck that shit.
So yeah, Banana found this one as well. Yeah, if you shoot Toad onto the gear, runs back and then respawns with you on the other side. This saves a substantial amount of time. Was probably the biggest skip at the time it was discovered. Yeah, definitely is.
Besides, what about Ancient Poltergeist 1 Cycle?
One Cycle was not discovered until... Actually, I don't know about that one. I almost added that one, actually.
Right here. I have the clip right here.
Yeah, what's the date on that clip?
He has it on deck.
Oh wait, that's a sword skip I was looking at. But they
But yeah, I should have put that one into the slideshow as well.
Reaction's so funny.
Yeah. You were freaking out.
You'd be freaking
I
out
would
if
too,
that
yeah,
happened.
I would too.
Part of me was nervous the game was gonna crash, and I think my run was pretty good too. I was like, God dang it. Don't crash, please.
And then it just worked and saved a bunch of time.
No. What? That was weird. What? 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 What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
And it's not even world record right now.
I don't even think the Ancient Poltergeist 1 cycle's been done in a full game run, has it?
Yep, it has.
Mm-hmm.
Has yep.
Who?
Done it.
I'm not
By
sure.
yours truly.
I'm not sure if it's been done in a world record yet, but it's definitely done in.
Because I don't know if you're being. I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
No, I'm being serious. I've done it in an entry close before.
Me too.
It was in one of my PBs.
Okay, a world record. That's what I
I
thought.
know world record. I don't think.
Maybe.
Okay, well,
Probably the C3
Jake
world
really
record.
caught us.
The C3.
Yeah, probably the C3 world record.
A full game world record. That's what I thought.
I'm not sure.
I still don't know what you mean.
Okay, let's keep going.
All right. Next one that was found. This one's kind of breaks the chronological a little bit. Dark Age and Kitchen Skip. This one has a very interesting history. So let's start in 2015. There was this guy named Golden Balloon who doesn't have any runs submitted, but they did stream the game, and I attended one of the streams, and they showed me like a couple things, like a bunch of tricks, and one of them was Dark Age skip, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's actually a skip. So that's where Dark Age skip came from. Was this really obscure guy, Golden Balloon? You can see his PBs listed there, 3:15:21. That was back in 2015. So not a bad time at all for for that time of the game. Actually, pretty close to my world record at the time, probably.
What the hell? Wait, I insist on finding this? On finding kitchen skip with banana?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, moving on to the kitchen discovery part of it. There was a, I guess Banana knew about it actually before we talked about it. Banana knew that you could skip the ghost in the kitchen, but he didn't know if it was faster. And yeah, the thing that sparked this conversation was this Miiverse post from TSX. So I asked in the Japanese community, like I found a speedrun there, and I asked if they knew about any skips. And TSX responded with this, which, you know, we don't read Japanese, so Jake translated it. And yeah, from that translation, it's kind of funny. We can see we don't quite understand entirely. Banana says, like, this is kind of unrelated, but like it's actually like super related to the post. Like they specifically say you can skip kitchen and bathroom. So I guess, yeah, that's kind of where the kitchen discovery comes from. One interesting thing to note is that I don't know if like how many days later, but like how many hours, but like a day or so after this was talked about, we see an instance of the ancient exhibit soft lock. The picture in the bottom right there, which is pretty interesting. Like almost immediately we see this skip starts to cause problems.
Who is that by?
That's me. That's my picture there.
Oh, okay. So you got the first one.
Maybe not the. I don't know if it is the first one because I had seen stuff on Miiverse like that actually. And I doubt that they're doing the skip. But yeah, that's Dark Age and Kitchen skip.
I found C3 one cycle date. It's May 8th, 2018.
May 8th.
That wasn't 5
That is
years ago.
before July. So maybe maintenance skip wasn't the biggest one at the time. Well, actually, I don't know. Does C3 one cycle save more than maintenance?
I don't know.
I don't know. They're
I
close.
only timed maintenance for faster than 80%, and it was like 45 seconds faster. But it's
Yeah.
3 greenies, so it's and you would drain suck up like one of them. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. Anyways, the next skip that was found, or next discovery, we're still in 2018. Really big year. Guard tunnel skip was discovered. Both the spider and the mouse variant were discovered. I'm not sure which one was discovered first. I can't remember if it was the spider or the mouse that was discovered first. But yeah, this one was really fun to discover. Trying to figure out how to fix the crash at the end. I'm not sure who figured that part out, if that was Banana or myself or someone else. But yeah, having to catch one of those greenies, otherwise the game will crash. Then, kind of unrelated, but like on the same day, Bingo Sync added the 5 extra colors, which is kind of crazy. Like that to think that there are only 5 colors at the very start.
That is wild. What were
It's because of Banana.
Yeah.
Bingos?
Banana discovered the extra 5 colors.
Yeah, they added
We
yellow
made
in his
Bingo summer 2018.
Yeah, Bingo was really big in 2018 for us. Like the Bingo project was in full swing.
Honestly, I felt bad that RiiDOLSK would never have a world record on E1, so I found a skip for him to do it.
That's true. This was my first record on E1.
People never change.
All right. We've got our next skip, or next discovery, also a skip. In 2019, this is Staircase Skip.
Oh my gosh.
Had a very big reaction when it was found. Everyone was super excited that we could finally skip the staircase. But it's kind of I don't know, not the best ending up to a story. It ended up not being terribly consistent. Still to this day, it's not as consistent as we would like. There have been I don't know, strategies that people come up with to try to make it more consistent, and they definitely seem to have some sort of effect on it, but we're still not quite to the point where I think it's good enough for like full game runs and stuff. But yeah, really cool skip. Lots of a big reaction to this one.
Jackman reacted to that one.
That's right, yeah. Not sure how long they stuck around after that, but they were around. Okay, the next discovery is one of my favorites. We have East Corridor Skip, found by RexBFX.
Oh my god.
Also in 2019. Lots of controversy about this one. We've had some pretty good memes created because like this skip is kind of debatable if it's actually a skip or not. Then one piece of, or like one quote that I think is really really cool to see here. Are you still going with saying there are no skips to be found? Rex says. And I say I would be very, very surprised actually if there are none left. So East Corridor Skip was like the last skip for like a very long time. After 2019, no skips were really discovered at all. Like to even come close to the big skips that we'd been finding in 2018 and earlier. Until, of course, earlier this year, we see Purple Toad Skip. Absolutely massive discovery, saving probably over a minute on the mission. Really
The
big.
record's like 110 faster, I think.
What'd you say?
I think the record is like 110 or 120 faster now. Than the,
Saves so much time.
Yeah, it's insane.
it used to be a lot more.
The crazy thing about this skip is that like it's only possible because of like the efforts from like 3 people had to be like part of the process to make this skip possible. So Mards made a cheat code that Rex was playing around with. Actually, I think I'd like to have Rex, if you don't mind, if you'd like to say something about this.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So the cheat code that Mards made, it's a position, save, and load code. Welcome back, Jake. So it lets you can save a spot, walk to another area, and then load it in. So I found 2 separate things. This. First, I found like you can finish the level with Toad by warping up in the courtyard. And it took me a few hours. I was like, why does this crash sometimes? Eventually figured out it was just that one room. And then there was another one too that I'm picking on. I think it had something to do with the Bloomberry. I think
Crash?
there were two like separate discoveries that I found with this code that helped me produce the theory video. And then showed that And I was like, okay, last thing we need is like we need to grab this bloomberry without a bucket. I'm like, okay, we just need to have it warp us onto the platform, the railing. And I tried for 2 hours and get it once, and I pretty much lost complete faith in it. And then it kind of shows that you don't need to warp onto it, you just need it to bump you up a bit. And of course now I'm like, how the heck did I not think of that? But yeah. Yeah, like Reese said, it's like a culmination of everything we've done. I mean, at the very beginning, I don't know how active like bucket strat was out of bounds stuff, like in the Miiverse days, but like
Yeah, it was pretty big actually.
Like we use that. We use Bloomberry out of bounds, and then of course it's like the two biggest glitch runners. It's like they both work together, and this new person who's helped us discover a lot more things about the game that we never would have otherwise. It was a great thing.
I think the skip's really cool because it's like a lot more involved than anything else in the game. Because most skips are just like you skip the ghost in a room, but this is like an entirely new route that uses several different glitches to make sure it's possible.
It's totally different than anything else in this game. It's more similar to a skip in other games.
Right.
In other games, skips like these are common. In this game, it took 10 years to find it.
Like a real skip.
I think one of the funniest parts for me is that one of the first things I played with after I joined here, like I was already super interested in Bloomberry Out of Bounds. Like I just loved playing around with it, and I spent all my time trying to figure out if we can get past the door in E3 and skip the poltergeist fight, which you can't because you need the book, and only then does the door turn green. Like you can't open it. It'll only go partial way. But yeah, just to think like all of the rooms and all the things I was doing with like carefully walking around each of the rooms, going out of bounds in Dark Age. I was just doing it in the wrong mission.
It turns out E2 was the real one to try it on after all.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I didn't have the Bloomberry, so I couldn't.
That'd be a bit hard, yeah.
That was the final step. It was the last piece of the puzzle. I placed it in.
Yeah, absolutely amazing skip. But yeah, I think let's wrap this up with, or at least this section up, with some just concluding questions. What skip is your favorite, and what other discoveries? I guess we've really touched on that other one already, but especially what skip is your favorite?
E2.
E2 is a really easy choice.
I'm biased. I'm so biased. I love all of them.
He loves all of them.
I love all of them.
I love my creations.
I love all of them.
It's like a parent with their children. It's like, how can I choose between them? I love them all equally.
So honestly, this is going to be really strange sounding. One of my favorites, and no joke, is Sword Skip in E-Boss. And the reason was because this person, Loris75 or whatever, did you say that was a Miiverse person, or was that at the video game?
That was Cyberscore Video Games Records.
Yeah. And the time was just impossible. It was 1:35, and we couldn't even get under 1:40. The time was so impossible to me. I was like, there's something here that we're missing. And so I went forever. I labbed forever, just looking at everything. Like, where do we go to save time? Like, how did this person get it so low? It is not possible. And eventually I'm messing around. I get hit by the leg at the start because I'm probably just desperate and doing whatever I want. And I noticed that for whatever reason, the sword didn't come down. And I was actually able to lead both legs. to the carpet, and the sword attack never happened. It was like, and then finally, like it clicked. Like, oh my gosh, that's how they got this time so low. They must have done this thing on accident or on purpose. I don't know. But that was really satisfying to find because like I knew it was there, and then I was able to find it.
Actually, yeah. Now that you mention that, I do remember like us, or not us, but like you especially wanted to beat that time. That was one that we were looking at for a long time. Like I don't know if that was during, because like there was a moment in history like where we had just a couple random names, Laura 75, Dr. Goomba, Jackman. They still had a couple times still scattered about in the missions, and we made a goal to try to beat all of those times. Try to get it be all just current runners to have all the records. And I imagine that was probably something that you did during that quest.
Almost certainly.
I remember that time.
Just whenever time I picked E-Boss, like, oh, I want to beat the E-Boss record, and I was like, this is not possible. Like, what? Like, you would struggle to get under 140.
Yeah, like, there's got to be something.
Anymore. You don't need sword skip to get under 140 anymore.
Yeah.
How good we are. But, like, at the time, it was like, well, this is not, you cannot get under 140. Like, how is this possible? And I found it. So that was satisfying. Conservatory skip was satisfying because it saved a good amount of time.
It was easy.
And it was easy. B-Boss I found on accident. Kind of. Maintenance I kind of found on accident. Just I randomly, I was just shooting Toad around and then he just respawned. And I was like, what the heck? Can I use this? And I was like, and then yeah.
Really sick. I'm probably biased as well, but I think my favorite discovery is, I guess I really shouldn't have said skip here. I should have said discovery in the question. But my favorite is key duplication in A1. That was a skip or like a trick that I theorized based on gold bone duplication.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, why does gold bone duplication work? You get an item right before a cutscene. Okay, let's try that in a different scenario. Where could I possibly try that? And then the key in the garage was just like the perfect place to do that. And it worked. It was so satisfying. Kind of like your sword skip. So yeah, that's my favorite. Maybe not my favorite, but like it's up there.
I don't have one that I would call my favorite. I do want to point out the 200 1-second time saves and all the little tiny strats for all the other ghost rooms that don't really have skips. Just those discoveries. Me finding out that you could flash the invisible greenie in the tool shed in it too, which lets you clear that room a lot faster. The D3 elevator strat. That's a really cool one, especially in all gems.
I agree. That one's really good.
I don't know what you put the name as because he's changed a few times. The E4 strat that came up in like 2020, where you like flash the boo right at the beginning and he appears right behind you, and then the train like runs into him instantly. Like it's a lot more consistent, and it saves.
Who was that again?
Like it's like Phantasma.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so strange because like a random person came in was.
Yeah.
So, by the way,
they didn't stay around for too long. That's it.
It's so convenient too because before that you had to just hope he would do the charge move.
Yeah, I think we definitely should refer to the strat by Phantasma. Put their name in it.
Yeah.
I know.
Phantasma's break.
Has strat. You can combine the S. I don't know. But there's a lot of few little ones. Other discoveries. I remember there's a really big one. It's not as big to be anymore. Now that we have the access to cheat codes, doesn't feel as monumental. Re-enter Graveyard was like my magnum opus.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't save like any time, the fact you could leave the room that you're supposed to end B2 in with Toad and like explore Haunted with him.
Yeah. Or B3, you mean?
Yeah. I don't know what I said. But and just exploring just all the weird ways that the game doesn't like that. If Toad is far away from you in it's the room that has the pinwheel gate. If he's far away from you and crying. Yeah.
Courtyard.
And then you open up the door to the tree, he'll open it up, but since Toad's not with you, like the loading zone won't come through. So it's like a super easy way for you to just walk right through the door out of bounds because the other room doesn't load. And just a bunch of little extra things with that. I remember that being big for me.
That's cool. That's really cool.
That was really cool. I remember like wanting to do that as well. Like I messed with that one as well, and then the slammer boss music. I remember us making a big deal about that.
Wait, I think that clip is still on your channel somewhere.
It's so
I'll
good.
find it, yeah. It's
yeah,
not
no,
just in Slammer, it's anywhere, but yeah.
Re-enter Graveyard was big.
My favorite discovery. Wait, what we mean by discovery is just random glitches that we have found, right?
And
Yeah.
any
Sort of
discover.
Anything really.
Anything you want.
I know Rex will know it. It's where you pull in E3, I think. Yeah, you pull the rope on the rocket, and then you immediately step outside the room.
Yep.
And basically, you look through a peephole, and the camera goes inside the peephole, and yeah, you got like this weird camera glitch going. I can't remember if I posted any. I posted pictures about somewhere. I just don't know where.
I guess I can describe it. So when it's the rope that's connected to the rocket that has the gold greenie, and you can light the rope, which shoots the rocket up, and that's how you capture the gold greenie. But the first time you pull the rope, the camera will pan up to him, to see the ghost laughing, and then after a little bit, it'll come back down. If you leave the room before it comes back down, the camera will lock in place.
Yeah, I don't know where Robin is.
And then you can walk anywhere and like see the rooms load in, but the camera will never follow you.
I'll check.
Which is like the first time that I saw that until very recently with the new B2 thing. That was like the first. Yeah.
That's really cool. I never remembered that one. That's cool.
I don't think I got too much traction, but it'd be pretty easy for anyone here to do and play around with. It's fun. That was a good one. All right. Any more? Or are we ready to?
Yeah, my favorite discovery was the one that I found in
Yep.
Gloomy
Name it.
Called The Vicious number 2.
Yeah, what do you do? What level is it?
It's in any Gloomy mission.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the code room. You go into the code room, right? And you know how there's a toilet there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like pull on the rope, you know how you like pull on the rope and then you press A and it like flushes it. But I discovered that after you press A, you can grab onto it really quickly, so the rope doesn't go all the way back. It doesn't retract, and you can
Yeah, and if you keep doing it, it like sinks into the ground.
Sinks into the ground. You can pull the rope all the way off the toilet. So cool. That's me.
I don't know if I've done that one. Nice.
I discovered it. It's named after me.
No,
that one can be the Vicious. You can be.
Oh, that's the Vicious number 2.
Because it's a toilet.
Even though I found it first.
Here's an interesting one. I believe in the in the Dark Moon VC chat.
That's a good one.
That is probably the only time I ever seen that happen. I have seen nobody replicate this glitch aside from Ree. I don't even know how the fuck he did it, but it happened.
And it's done it a few more
I've done
times.
it multiple times. I've probably done it like over 10 times.
Over 10.
But the result screen glitch
Oh,
that
the results
displays all the
screen.
numbers.
Okay, yeah.
I think someone posted one where all the numbers were 0.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's happened to me a few times actually, like 3 or.
It happens when you skip the cutscene, like the exact frame or the frame before it ends on its own. And this is something that actually works like anywhere. And for some reason, it'll skip the cutscene, or maybe the cutscene ends. I think it varies, but the skip icon will stay up, and then you can skip again, but there's nothing to skip, and the game just like freaks out.
I'm calling it. In 10 years, when we find Ace, arbitrary code execution in this game, it's going to be through that. Because of the random numbers that come. Another one, I think Banana found this before I did. If you pause, like, there's like one frame before the opening cutscene when you first go into a mission. If you pause during that, the screen's completely white. You can quit back, go back into the bunker. Forrest knows what I'm talking about. And then the bunker music will just stop. And it's just like the sound effects, but there's no music playing. And it also transfers like between files. Like it's the only. Oh, another Dark World.
Yeah.
There's lots. This game's fun.
I don't know how you beat the level in the dark thing, because I always thought any cutscene would restore the top.
But there isn't a cutscene after the Dark World triggers.
Yeah.
Oh, I said that wouldn't consider it a cutscene then if you go to the end of the level. That's the only way to hard lock the game.
Yeah, that is a crazy one.
Because you can't pause when the screen is black. Yeah.
Do we even know like why it happens, or is it just? Do we know why it happens? I know like where, but like it doesn't happen every time. So like, what's the why? Do we know why?
I know it goes dark when you do 2 room transitions at the same time. I don't know what the case is for E3.
Oh, I got it dark and haunted.
Oh, B2.
Oh, I don't know about the B2 one.
I think I also got that. I don't.
It's just
remember.
that you go through to, what's the center one? Courtyard? Like just out of bounds, and just like sometimes it just the top screen goes, and you can easily soft lock out of bounds there, especially if you go by like the door to the tree, like in front of that, like the river with the plank. You can like clip into that, and then you'll just hard lock because you can't restart the level and you're stuck.
All right, I think we're good to continue. I think we still like half the slides.
Yes. Well, actually, no, we're getting close.
Okay.
Only 8 more slides. But yeah, next we have one of my favorite sections of the whole show. We've got graphs and statistics.
Ooh.
My favorite
One is the best.
So yeah, a lot of the information in this section is only made possible from a spreadsheet that I made 4 years ago, the IL World Record History and Statistics spreadsheet. This is one of my most proud creations.
That spreadsheet I made.
Like it's amazing. Over 50 sheets, probably like close to 60 or 70 if you count the hidden sheets. We can get a very easy summary of the world record progression on any mission you like, including the extra categories that have been created over the past few years, like EGAD storage and all that stuff. But yeah, there's lots of graphs available there, tables, yeah, you name it. But yeah, the first graph or piece of information I want to take a look at is the theoretical sum of best. It's not perfectly representative. This is taken from the IO world record of every mission and then adding a sort of like offset to it to get a approximation for what the New Game Plus world record would be if you strung together the world record in every single mission. The reason it's kind of off a little bit is because there might be some like in-game time shenanigans going on where like the real time doesn't quite line up. But I think it's pretty accurate. And yeah, now it's almost sub 220, which is crazy. Like it's come so far from what it was. You can see the graph starting as high as almost 240. So like over the years,
E2.
we've cut like 20 minutes away. Also, yeah, that is a very big point of discussion. This really big drop in the graph this past January from the discovery in E2, the biggest time cut ever. And you can see the blue graph, the light blue graph, taking a big dip when that was discovered. I think like 82 seconds were taken, or like 86 or something like that, were taken away from world records in the month of January, which is absolutely insane. Like we haven't had a cut that big in years, probably since 2018 or 19. So yeah, this is probably my favorite spreadsheet, or one of my favorite graphs, excuse me, in the spreadsheet. So next up, I've got some exciting news for the spreadsheet. Some of you may remember I used to have a sheet called Rampages within the spreadsheet, which showed streaks of world records. So if someone got like, world record back to back, I would call that like a rampage, and this sheet would show those like rampages. Yeah, it's not like a strict definition thing. It's not like there's an exact metric to measure it. So there's an adjustable cooldown to like inspect different kinds of rampages if you want to see like ones that were only separated by like maybe a single day. I could change the cooldown to just 1 day, and you can see the highest string of world records that someone achieved with only like a day apart from each record at most. But yeah, really happy to get this sheet back in. I have it including tied world records now, so I've kind of like shifted to giving tied world records and untied world records pretty equal importance. In the past, my spreadsheet is kind of like focused more on the untied world records, and they're definitely like pretty significant, definitely, but now I'm like putting a lot of focus on tied world records as well to like also count. So yeah, this was I spent like, I don't know, not like that long, but I wrote a new algorithm from scratch for this, so it's like a lot more efficient. So yeah, that is set to run daily. Not like it needs to, but any new records that get added to the spreadsheet, if they're part of a rampage, they'll be updated the next day.
That's
So,
on the sheet.
pretty cool stuff. Not yet. Let me actually.
Oh no.
I can
I saw
actually
Today.
get it in right now.
I have a question. What is the impact column?
Very good question.
Thank
you. So yeah, there's a I worked hard on it. There's a new column called impact that is representing the total number of days that all of the records in that rampage stood for. So for example, like that world record, or like the streak that at the top there for banana, those 22 world records that he set stood for a total of 3,518 days. Like if you would add up the duration of all of those records that were set.
Is there an indicator for which impacts are still growing?
That's a good question. That could be something I could try to add. Yeah.
I think that'd be neat.
Because like I do a similar thing on like on another sheet where I highlight them in blue if they're still active. I could try to do a similar thing here. That'd be really cool.
What's duration?
Duration, that is the number of days that the rampage lasted for.
Gotcha.
So in 47 days, Banana got 22 world records.
I mean, not to brag, but I got 22 in 32 days.
I mean, not to brag, but I took 108 seconds off the world records, and you only took 24. So
Okay, well, not to brag, yours happened before any of us were born, 3 years before mine.
yeah, well, not to brag, but my impact
It's a lot harder for it's a lot harder for
over
me to get.
50% more, and there were, the times were still competitive between me and Reese. So, like we could have taken them, but we didn't.
Yeah, but
Good.
you guys sucked back then. But when I went on the rampage, like people didn't suck more.
Well, not to brag or anything, but B is higher on the alphabet than V, so definitely.
Amazing. So yeah, that's cool. I hope you all really enjoy the statistics from that slide, or excuse me, from that new sheet in the spreadsheet. And I know I say it there, but I want to emphasize, if you do want to see a different cooldown, because like it is interesting the different ways that you want to like frame it. If you want to be really short cooldown, like really rapid fire rampage, I could lower it down to like 1 day or 3 days or whatever. Or if you want to see like a really spread out, who has the longest like monthly streak, I could raise it to like 30 days or something like that.
It's gonna be
we can see how that affects the list of rampages there. Just feel free to let me know if you'd like to see anything changed there.
Cool.
Just make like 30 different sheet pages, one for each day.
Oh, yes. That's the solution here. All right, next slide. I have a pretty cool table for you guys, or graph. This graph is actually not in the spreadsheet. This is one that I prepared just for this presentation. So this spreadsheet shows the difference between world records set, or the world record time on January 1st of 2017 compared to what it is today. And we can see just like how big of cuts we've made from each mission, or like how little of cuts. Like A1 is tiny. Then there's others like E2, of course, is the big one to look at. But yeah, I think this is a really cool one to look at.
Comparatively, but like that's a huge 9 seconds.
That is a huge 9 seconds.
True.
Like comparatively, it's small, but it's because it's A1 and the time was already good. It only goes so low.
King Boo with the 23 seconds.
Yeah, and that 340 was a good time too.
Like percentages of how much taken off a level, that E4 has got to be one of the best. E bonus looks huge.
True.
And E2 is obviously massive.
This one's also cool because you can see like the minute barriers that have been crossed.
Oh yeah, I see the lines at the top. The lines across the minutes.
That's a cool one. You should add that.
I'm thinking about it, yeah. This is a cool sheet, or cool graph. But yeah, on to, I guess, one that I'm noticing, B-Boss. That one has almost the same current time as B5, but much more of a cut than B5 has had. And they've both had skips actually discovered, which is kind of interesting to note.
Hawk is the king of skips.
B-Boss
B1,
is
B4, B5, B-Boss.
The boss has one more second to cut off for a whole minute to get to it, Vicious.
What? I was looking at the rampage. I'm sorry. What did you say?
The boss was the first time was a 3:45, and now it's a 2:46. That's 59
Oh,
seconds. You got to cut off one more
and
second.
B-Boss is my job. I did it my job. Okay,
Yep.
fine.
Who had that 345? That stood forever.
Yeah.
That stood like until the skip was found. Almost.
Yeah, Benjamin had a really good time on that
It was
mission.
Benjamin, okay. I thought it was Benjamin. It was Jack.
Or was it Benjamin? I don't know.
Oh, it's either Benjamin or Jackman, right?
Yeah, no, well, I know. Yeah, Benjamin was the one who had the record, but I wasn't sure if one of those speed it.
That's true. I don't know.
But yeah, B1 is also kind of interesting. There was a greenhouse skip, but I think that the record already had greenhouse skip by 2017. One of the very few to have such an early skip.
You had beaten it before Boss was discovered.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was like I don't remember what the time was. 46
Yep.
maybe.
Something that I'd be interested in is how if someone got these times in a New Game Plus run, what would their time be? Like the old times. We already know the newest with the other graph.
Well, actually, yeah, we can see. If we go back to like the beginning of 2017, it would have been about 240. You know.
Does that start when every single mission had a record?
Yes or no,
Okay.
actually.
You'd have to find where every single mission has its first record, but that would be a different. So that wouldn't show.
That looks like the start of that looks like the beginning of 2017. So just going based off the scale of the graph.
Yeah, so the data in this sheet is set to like start at the end of the old era. The old era in my spreadsheet is marked with like the gray records in the world record log. So
what I was wondering was if someone got a time a New Game Plus run with the first world record in every mission, but that hasn't happened. Like this wouldn't show that because
no, this is not
different.
That.
Like some mission might have had its first record, another one might have been on its fifth. So.
Right. Yeah,
this
wouldn't be that.
It wouldn't have been fifth. When I joined, like there might have been one level that had 3 runs, 3 world records on it. Most of them had a single time. It was from New Game Plus run.
Yeah, like the bonus missions, or like D2 probably had just mine.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Next slide. The IO world record streak. So this one is pretty exciting. This streak has been going for over 5 years, and it's been able to continue thanks to Vicious and Rex these past 2 months. So huge shout outs to both of them.
I was gonna say, Ree, you are Ree, I was going through it. There are huge stretches of you have one
it's only
record in the month, and it's you.
It's mostly the end of 2019. That was
recently
you.
like this, but like you are the all time. Like you have this in the middle.
I haven't looked into those, but yeah, it might have been me.
Rex had a close one on like December 31st, right?
Yeah.
E5 was it?
That's right.
That might have been the 2021. I think both of us got a record pretty close to each other.
And then the first 2022 was your E4 tie.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
it's like grinding away.
God, that was so long ago. Oh my God.
It was only a year. It's only a year and like 3 months.
A lot has happened in the past year.
Right.
Crazy. But yeah, really excited to see how old is this streak gonna get before the sad day that it's finally gonna break.
Oh, that sad day will never come. As long as any of us are alive, that sad day will never come.
Right, we're always going to be getting world records.
We're gonna guys, we're gonna have to start like rationing. Like, one
Right.
limit one world record per month. Like
Meet our quota.
only take by 1 second.
True.
So when one record happens, we can't play for the rest of the month just to risk like
Yeah.
picking up the record of the next month.
Yeah, I think like 10 years into the future.
Like, yeah, 10 years in the future, guys, that's 3,600 world records. Like, we gotta be rationing. We gotta start now. No more world records this month.
Did you say 10 years in the future is going to be 3,600 world records?
That is not that.
Oh, you're right. He's not. I went to the day streak.
Not quite.
120 world records, which is still a lot.
Sure.
What's the longest day streak? Do you happen to know that? Ray?
Longest what?
Day streak.
Day streak?
By multiple people. Not single person.
I'm not sure I understand what you're...
It's the same as the month, but it's only days.
It is month,
Instead
but
of
day.
month, it's a day.
Oh.
Week.
I don't know. I've never looked into that. That'd be cool to try to figure out.
And you have to do week streaks too.
Week streaks off.
And then like
Year
hours,
streaks.
And like
second
minutes.
streaks.
Where are we at with year streaks?
Years. Well, I think we're good on the year streak.
I think we're good on year, yeah. I think we go back to 2013, so I think we're fine.
Oh, guys, we have to think into the future. No more world records this year. Okay.
Very to ration. Nice.
Alrighty. Well, that wraps up this presentation. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm gonna hand it off to anyone else. If anyone else has anything that they have to present, now is the time.
I was gonna make a YouTube video, but I told you this already. But then I spent like 16 hours on C-Boss. That kind of ate up my time for the week.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on the latest things I discovered in B2, with the use of Mart's code again. But yeah, I guess delayed until I fully finish that. But not for today.
Cool. But in the
I would
near
like-
future, maybe we'll see.
Maybe, yes.